Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rajina Hazika binti Raja Badu Hisham. So today I would like to present my research report, which is drying kinetic of Garcinia Atroviridis by using tray and oven dryer. So basically these are the content that I will share later, which is in chapter 1 is the introduction, chapter 2 the literature review, chapter 3 is the methodology, and the last chapter is the reference. So basically in the chapter 1, I will explain about the background study. So, asam gelugur or Garcinia is a medium to a large evergreen tree. The Garcinia fruits are native to tropical Asia and widely cultivated. The scientific name of Garcinia acomodia is generally found in southern India, while the other strain, the Garcinia Atroviridis, is commonly found in southern Thailand and North Malaysia. So the fruit is traditionally used in the preparation of food and cooking spice, which will give a taste of typically sweet and sour to the product. The common name in Indonesia is asam potong, while in Malaysia is asam gelugur or asam keping, while in Thailand they call it cha muang chang. So Garcinia cambodia and Garcinia atroviridis are traditionally used in the preparation of food and cooking herbs. So the fruit produce fruit acids such as the hydrocitric acid or HCA, which will help as a fat burning and fat burning of the carbohydrate while we are in rest or during exercise. The Garcinia fruits has been used as a food in many tropical region of Asia for decades. The fruits may look like a small yellow reddish pumpkins, and it may have a special purple color. It is rarely grown in garden and semi-cultivated in the local forest because it is edible fruit. At present, Garcinia Atroviridis produce are becoming more popular as a health food and available on the market in a variety of ways, such as in a tea, in a capsule, and also as a fruit slice. So, basically, one of the common method for the preserving the fruits and vegetable or other fruits in this world is likely drying. The global dehydrated food market is forecast to register a CAGR of 5.2% during the forecast period, which is during 2020 until 2025. The rise in demand for convenient food items and non-seasonal products is primarily driven by the consumer as they have an extended shelf life. It is expected that advent of ready-to-eat food item and their rising demand among customers will have a positive effect of the growth and development of the industry. So, some countries such as China and Japan, among others, they have dehydrated the packet food item like pasta and noodles are eaten daily and as like a staple food. So, basically, drying is a complex process involving simultaneous heat and mass transfer among different unit operation. So, the operation involved is a drying offers several advantage with a reduction in the product moisture, especially increase in the product shelf life. The reduction to adequate amount of moisture content will slow down the activity of enzyme, the bacteria, the yeast and mold. The food processing industry is exploring to approach or to substitute the use of fossil fuel to develop a greener technology. For example, various renewable energy sources have been used for drying food products such as solar, geothermal, wind, and also biomass. So, for the objective of the study is number one, to compare the kinetic during drying of the Garcinia atroviridis through sun drying and tray drying and also the oven dryer. Number two, to observe the optimizing quality of drying fruits in aspect of drying time, temperature, acid content, humidity, moisture content, and also the air velocity applied to the fruit. Number three is to identify the mathematical model to improve the quality and to elongate the shelf life of the dry fruit. Next slide is the problem statement. So for the problem statement, the main point is to prevent the proliferation of the microorganism and also the mold. The basic value of drying is to extract the moisture from the agriculture product to a minimum percentage that cannot allow the growth of microbes that damage the bioactive compound of the plant. Number two, this is like slightly similar with number three, which is it is to remove or to avoid the microorganism from growing and multiplying, which will give a contamination with microbial pathogen and stop the physical and chemical adjustment. Which similar with number three, which is it is to prevent any occurrence of undesirable effect due to the microbial activity during the drying process. While number four is to improve the efficiency of packaging, storing, and also transportation. So, for the research, the scope of research, the alternate drying methods such as the open sun, the microwave, the cabinet tray, the freezing, the mist, vacuum drying, shadow drying, all these are used to extend the shelf life and have a major effect on the consistency of the dried product. So shadow drying is well known to be slow, and sun drying is harmful to the preservation nutrification parameter in vegetable and fruit. Several nutrient compounds are susceptible to heat treatment and the drying environment. It is also very important to use the best drying system to preserve the full nutrient content of dry fruits. So the fruit of spring are reported to be from April to May and October to November, which is twice a year. So regarding to this short period and number of fruits are produced per year, the Garcinia is cut into thin slab and further dehydrated by sun drying in the air and subsequent heat convection. However, the traditional method that has been used is have an after effect to the dried fruits, as it is difficult to control the quality as how we demand, since the drying occur in open environment naturally and is not hygienic. It is low cost heating but has some inherent pitfall, such as the slowness of the product, the process, the weather uncertainty, especially during long rainy season. It is also resulting high cost of human power, need a wide area, and also the infestation of insect and the contamination with foreign materials are the prominent disadvantage of sun drying. Next, we move to chapter 2, which is the literature review. So, Garcinia is used in a food, in a many tropical Asia for decades. So, it is historically used in food processing and cooking, as it is mentioned that it has a distinct sweet acid taste, which it is claimed to make food more filling. The drying industry use a lot of electricity. High energy input in drying operation are attributed to high latent water evaporation heat and comparatively poor energy efficient of the industrial dryers. So here, the most critical challenge for industry is to reduce the energy price for the manufacture of high quality dry product. Based on the research, the suitable drying time are recorded for each material thickness are various temperature, but the air velocity was set at 1.2 meter per second. So effective diffusivity of moisture was measured at various temperature, and also the value obtained come within the usual range for food materials. These are based on the research on many type of dried products such as the papaya, the strawberry, apple, and many more. So these are the dryer comparison. First, the convection tray dryer is actually half of drying time in a free convection dryer. So which mean convection tray dryer is better than the free convection dryer. Next, the drying time of the fluidized bed dryer is about 1/4 of the drying time in a free convection dryer. So it is mean that the drying time in the fluidized bed dryer is better than the free convection dryer. Next, based on the journal, found that the freeze dryer and the vacuum microwave dryer for strawberry had the highest concentration of phenolic compound than the vacuum dried and convective dried strawberries. So, which means the microwave dryer is similarly with the oven dryer. And the best part is the tray dryer was found to be more effective than oven dryer because of higher drying rate with better product quality and appearance at the end. So what I can say here is that the drying temperature and air velocity had significant influence on both the drying time and drying rate curve, where the higher the temperature, the shorter the drying time and it resulting the faster of the drying rate. Next we move to the chapter 3, which is the methodology. Okay, these are the flow of the process. So first, we have to prepare the Garcinia Atroviridis with the equipment needed. Then we have to dry the sample in the tray oven, record and collect the data analysis of the sample, calculate the parameter of the drying kinetic using specific equation, and lastly, we have to generate the mathematical model for the sample using the calculation that we have made. Okay, these are the apparatus and equipment. First is chiller, next tray dryer, oven dryer, the analytical balance, the temperature probe, the thermometer, the stopwatch, and also the anemometer. So these are the mathematical model equation that we might use later. First, the thing that we have to consider is the effect of drying time. It is to ensure the air velocity maintained at our desired value. An anemometer was used to calculate the air velocity. Then the sample will be measured for several hours to observe the weight loss using the various temperature. In order to achieve a stronger result, this experiment will be done in several times. The drying curve against weight loss during drying period will be plotted, which is the result will be recorded and then we will plot the graph. From this, the measurement of moisture of the sample can be obtained. Next is the effect of the temperature. The air velocity must be constant at desired value to make sure the mass of the sample maintained and the measurement can be recorded deliberately. The test will be done at various temperatures and sample will be distributed on a tray. Weight loss of sample will be recorded using temperature and weight loss to determine the effect of the temperature drying sample. The curve will be plotted. Third is the effect of air velocity. While varying the air velocity, the temperature of air velocity will be maintained at desired value. So this parameter was maintained to observe the effect of air velocity on the drying sample. Using air velocity and weight loss to determine the effect, we will using the air velocity and weight loss to determine the effect of air velocity for the drying sample, and also the curve, which is the graph will be created and will be plotted later. Last is the moisture content. The moisture content, we will use this equation where X is the moisture content, XO is the original moisture content. The materials are the XF, and the XF are the final moisture content. Okay, next is this equation we will use where V is the drying rate, X is the moisture content, T1 is the moisture content, X is the moisture content at certain temperature, and also T1 is the moisture content at the first temperature at first time. So the first time and T2 equal to T1 plus dt. So these are the reference that I use to summarize my research, which stated in this slide. Thank you.